Okay, good. I think we should be able to start. So, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. And I know the majority of people have already been to these sessions, but I also see a couple of new names, not faces, but names in the list. So just as a quick introduction, Elevate Women is a very dear, very personal project where the idea is to get in touch with inspirational women from all over, kind of in the digital industry, different roles, different ages, different professional experience, different interests, so that we can see a little bit of precisely that difference that actually makes us unique and enriches, so that we can think of role models that do not have to follow a very straight path, and so that we can actually see that someone as ourselves can have different choices that lead us to different places. So it's all about celebrating difference, celebrating different choices, different paths, and normalizing that everyone is worthy, everyone can have their own path. You can be C-level, you can be a specialist, there's so many ways to being remarkable. And today we have a truly remarkable person here with me. This is Marisol. Hello, Marisol.
Hello, Tania. How are you?
Very
Thank you
well.
for having me today.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for making time for us. Marisol has a very busy schedule. And she actually this week, she has at least 3 events that I can count of, probably many more. And so yeah, she's with us this morning. Marisol will be able to talk a little bit more about herself, but just as a quick introduction, today she's the founder of 2 very interesting organizations. One is Bilakatu, that actually has to do with open innovation. And I'm saying actually because there is a lot of people from Empathy, and open innovation is something that we are working with for the last year. We are started to do build in public, to kind of break away from traditional ways of creating product and working more in, as we said, open innovation. So this is a topic that's probably very interesting for many of us here. And the second organization is with Women in Tech Spain, which has grown quite a lot and is a very respectful and respectable institution today. So Marisol, thank you so much for being here today. I don't want to, because I start bubbling and I can't stop. So I just want you to talk to us a little bit about yourself, about who are you in this world, and how would you define yourself in 3 words, if that's possible.
Okay. Well, hello everyone, and hi again, Tania. It's really a pleasure to be here today. I'm a huge fan of opportunities to tell stories, because I think that we grow together. We grow better even when we hear other people's stories. So thank you very much for listening to mine. Well, I'm an industrial engineer. I'm living in Bilbao, as we were commenting at the beginning. I'm based in Bilbao, but working all around Europe, all around Spain, all the topics that Tania was commenting before. And maybe just that's maybe the quick introduction. My areas of passion and work are open innovation and ecosystem orchestration. And for me, this is part of what defines me nowadays, because it's my passion. So I would choose, my 3 words would be connection, the first one, connection, maybe they're the 3.
Wow, that's really nice. Connection. So connection, how would you define connection? Connection with whom? Connection among whom?
Well, yeah, that's in the root of open innovation, and we can talk a little bit about that, no? Because I discovered open innovation as a concept while I was I was appointed to create the open innovation unit at BBVA, the bank. And so we began creating that unit when no other company and no other bank in the world was doing that. So we had to answer the question, what was open innovation and what that could do with for an organization such as BBVA. And that's where I discovered this concept, and I realized that we've been doing collaboration and connection since humanity is humanity. But nowadays, where we are in a very ultra complex world with tons of variables and rapidly changing this VUCA world, no, where everything is so complex, this conscious connection and creating bridges among elements that maybe are not easily recognizable as similar or connected. This is an active exercise of creating bridges where knowledge and value can flow. So for me, that's the root of all the concept that we are working in open innovation. But if you realize that it's all about connecting people, it's a human discipline. So even if we're talking about innovation, we are not talking that much about technology, because there's a quote I like a lot to use because it summarizes this topic I'm talking about, which is most of the most important future innovations will come not from new technologies, but from new ways of collaborating. And so to be able to collaborate with others, you need to be able to connect, trust, understand them, and see the opportunities to learn together, to create value, and to grow, no, even better. And this, adding the speed and the scale, well, can be can be a system of ecosystems, no, that connects the whole world.
I think this idea is super important, that connection is not about technology, because yeah, technology is evolving all the time, and it gets commoditized very quickly. One day something is new and next day it's not anymore. But yeah, as you said, it's a human discipline. It's about how people want to engage together, want to connect, want to learn and grow together. I think that's a very interesting and very enriching definition of open innovation. I think at Empathy, it's something we're also trying to create, kind of break borders and make people from different disciplines also talk to each other and kind of spark off ideas. So thank you so much for this
Exactly.
definition. And another question that I have is about your kind of professional experience defining you as a person that you are today. So what can you tell us in that regard?
Well, I well, let me begin by saying I was born in Mexico, so I have a tendency for storytelling, long storytelling. So I will try to be not too long at least. But let me share a little bit of my career and my trajectory. So I studied industrial engineering. I studied that not because, frankly, now I understand I didn't have a clear vocation. So I wanted to train in something that would allow me to work in anything I wanted. I think that throughout my career, I always had the feeling that for me it was difficult to choose a career path because I didn't know everything, that all the options, How can you choose if you don't know everything that is available over there? So I decided to study this career as a tool to be able to connect to anything I wanted. And it quite worked out well for me because it allowed me to move into different industries. So I began working in strategic consultancy, and I began working very early because I needed to work while I was studying to sustain my own studies. So by the time I finished the career, I already had 4 years of experience, which allowed me to quickly grow into new opportunities. The main opportunity, this was back year 2000. And if you remember, in the year 2000, we were having the euro change in all Europe. We were having the Y2K phenomenon by 1999, 2000. And there were like a big trends of banks acquisitions throughout Latin America and consolidation of systems, and this was a phenomena that happened across many industries, beginning with the banking industry, creating like single platforms to unify. And this created the perfect storm for an industrial engineer specialized in reengineering of processes and strategies. So I began working in the financial industry. Uh, as, yeah, like creating this analysis for all the transversal processes and how to create a unified way of working, you know. And now I realize this was like the first step or the first place where I realized the power of creating these internal connections, because besides trying to implement a new technology or whatever you're trying to do, in reality, the constraint comes from working with the people who are managing all this, no, interculturally changes, not only among countries, but among departments and units within a different company. Then I began working at BBVA, as I was telling before. And after some time and well, the joy of working in a corporation, if you begin creating an internal path for you, is that you can grow and maybe even try to set your own path for development, no? And you can have many opportunities to move around, that maybe you begin working in one department and you move to another, no? And that's what happened to me. I found an opportunity, well, important, that in my experience, you need to hunt down your own opportunities, no? So I was always searching, connecting with people, learning what they did, because of course, a huge corporation as BBVA had so many departments that I wasn't aware of, you know? So I always tried to learn. And that's how I ended working in the innovation departments, new channels, new business, new digital channels, beginning with social media, and ended up creating from scratch the open innovation department. And that's when I found my vocation, no? Because when I was learning what it was, I realized, oh my God, this is what I love. Yeah, and I got hooked. Frankly, since that moment, I think I declared myself as a geek and freak of open innovation and its concept. I enjoy so much learning the theory and the knowledge base for that. So I'm always like geeking out also on that side. I collaborate a lot with Henry Chesbrough, who is the father of open innovation and the organizations that he is creating to connect academia and industry and practice. But I also had the opportunity to understand what are all the internal dynamics in a corporation such as ours, not only working with one of the units, but with the whole, all the banks, because BBVA is a group of banks around the world. So understand the different dynamics and creating these layers of internal connections, procedures, processes, KPIs. And after that, understanding who are the right players around the world to connect with us, no? Knowing like our mission was to transform the financial industry in the world, you know? So that created like a really interesting playing ground to generate impact. And after that, I wanted to keep like growing in this open innovation knowledge. I worked in South Summit, which is an ecosystem of here based in Spain, but working all around the world, that connects all the players in the innovation ecosystem to create these unlikely matches to find new opportunities. So it was also like a super interesting playing ground. I also created an ecosystem in the Nordics, first connecting all the Nordic banks because they are neighbors, but they don't talk that much between Sweden, Finland, Denmark, Iceland, and Norway. So let's connect you, because maybe each of these banks are not so top in the whole list of banks in the world, but if you connect them together, they represent 25 million customers and quite a nice capitalization value. And so we created that, and it worked really well. And then we began adding retailers and other players, creating this transversal connection. So you can see for me, connection as the common factor. And that led me to create my own company right now, as you were mentioning in the introduction. First, I created Bilakatu, which, by the way, it's a Basque word. It's Basque is a very rare language. I invite you to learn a little bit about it, but it's super ancient and it's not connected with Latin or Greek or English, so it's its own language. And bilakato means like something similar to become,
Okay.
transform, evolve,
Like
no?
a
And
process, right?
exactly, transformation process, no?
Yeah.
So in bilakato, we are generating knowledge about open innovation, methodologies of open innovation, and ecosystem orchestration. And our biggest and most loved ecosystem is WITH, the one that I have here in the background, which is an ecosystem of executive women. This is more or less what we are, the trajectory and my own career.
That's incredible. Love it. And I think for me at least, one of the most valuable lessons from what you said, and there were a few, is about vacation. I think it's there are some people, and I'm sometimes jealous of people who know from the very early age what they want to do. I want to be a doctor, or I want to be, a lawyer or whatever. And it was never the case for myself. So yeah, knowing that normalizing also that you don't always know what you want to do with your life, but you just kind of follow your instinct and you're trying different things, and maybe this works and this doesn't work, and then at some point, like it happened to you, you say, okay, this is what I really love. And it doesn't have to be when you're 18. Maybe it's when you're 30, 40, or whatever. So
Precisely. And there's a TED talk about this. I don't remember right now the name of the lady that talks about this, but it truly inspired me because she said that it's quite rare to have such a clear vocation. And usually we're a mix of abilities and likes and skills and enjoyments and which and that creates an opportunity to create richness, because then you can mix all your personal interests into what you are doing. Like, for example, I do the female and women leader thing with my open innovation thing, with other elements, and we create something unique. So I think now it's a good era, because this is also now a tendency, and it's a happy trend, to that we can leverage on our own authenticity to create the particular skill and shape our own position in our work, whatever we are doing, in whatever part of the organization we are, by mixing everything that we are. Even if we don't have like a clear vocation to do what we are doing right now, that's the perfect opportunity to bring everything you are.
you're so right. And you're so right that, people, we are much more complex than, just one thing and this and that. And yeah, as you said, we're a mix of so many different experiences and abilities and interests, etc. So rather than, narrowing down, it's great to be able to embrace the way you are, and kind of shaping the opportunities to the way you are and not the other way around. I think it's a very interesting view. And in terms of kind of changing a little bit the topic, so you as a person, how do you create balance in your everyday life? Because you're so involved in so many different things. So how do you balance, work, your personal life? Does it flow together? How do you do that?
That's an interesting question. Well, maybe we should begin by defining balance, no? Because I think with this complexity and speed that we were talking about in the beginning, there's also maybe so many definitions for balance, success, what is right and what is wrong, that creates for us also um, like the marks, not to what do you need to reach out to make sure that you are completely balanced, completely happy, completely successful. So I like always to review these definitions. No, what does balance mean? And you might think, okay, balance means that I'm, for example, we see this in the Women Network. I'm balanced because I'm a good mother, a good worker, and I'm perfect with myself. I'm good at everything. That's balance, no? But well, that's also adding some stress into because that's challenging to be good at everything, no?
Totally
And
impossible, I think.
yeah, so we've discussed this a lot also in the network, and I like one of my friend's definitions. She said, like, it seems like we are like trying to create an equilibrium in a triangle, no? You have your professional self, you have your family self, and then you have your individual self. And it seems that at times that you can only manage to get two of them right, you know? Like maybe you are a good mother and a good professional, but you are not going to the gym and you are not eating healthy, you know? Or maybe you are, and so I think that's the reflection that we need to do individually is what means balance means for us. No,
Yeah.
in my case, I don't have kids, so that's something less to juggle. But I do indeed have my family and my husband and my house and personal life. So through time, because I don't know if I have a real answer yet, but I realize that the first kernel for balance comes from being aligned, you know, internally. Like sometimes we have like internal tensions because we are doing something we don't want to do, or we are not being in the moment where we want to be, and we have internal tensions to solve this. So I always try to look within myself and see if I'm okay with this. Am I happy? I might be working a lot, I might be doing whatever, but am I okay? Do I feel like I'm aligned to what I want to do, where I want to be? And if not, then it's time to make a decision. And many of my decisions of changing work or looking new opportunities come from this internal tension that I'm feeling. And so I would say the first thing is like be true to myself and try to open many doors and talk to internal demons to be ready to listen to myself and understand that. Then the second thing is daring to let things go. So sometimes to get balance is not only to add more things just to create the equilibrium, but sometimes it's about letting go, no, and saying, okay, less of this, and then we will have a balance, no,
Yeah.
and then following the passion. I think what makes you happy, because then happiness will create like a good effect around you, like with your family. If you are okay, then you will be good with your family at your work, and you will be able to juggle all the all
Yeah.
the plates in the air.
No, sure. Yeah. And yeah, and obviously life is about phases, and there will be some phases where you're more balanced, less balanced. So yeah. Thank you for
And
that.
it's interesting. Another element that you are putting in the table is that the criteria for balance changes throughout
Yeah,
life.
that's true.
You know, so be
That's true.
ready to change your parameters.
Yeah. Change is the constant. Yeah. Just reminding everyone that if you have any questions, you have the Q&A session, or you can raise your hand. So whatever, and whatever it works for everyone. If not, I have another question. So if we talk about challenges, and I guess, when in such a rich ecosystem that you're working in, everything can be viewed as a challenge or an opportunity, right? So kind of how do you tend to get out of your comfort zone, right? Because we all sometimes get a little bit rooted in our comfort zone. So what do you do in that scenario?
Okay. Well, I think I'm a junkie of being out of my comfort zone. I don't feel
Oh,
comfortable in my comfort zone, you know? I think it's like routine for me, something different. With COVID, I discovered routine, and it was like, oh my God, I never had this, because for me, it was always looking or moving forward. So I made the change as a discipline for me somehow, you know? This also, by the way, creates some chaos, and people living around me know that there's chaos, but it's for me, it's like a productive chaos. I don't know if everyone agrees, but I think this comes, maybe it began by just being a foreigner. You know, you create you are already like facing continuously different areas out of your comfort zone, and then you learn to dominate certain areas, and you learn mechanics and dynamics to survive them. And I understood at some point that this is a skill for life, and there are many opportunities if you go face in and face the challenges. No, many of the big challenges or marrones I faced in my life brought me really great growth opportunities. Or when nobody wanted to do something, I said, okay, I want to do that. I want to open the door, and I directly faced them. This, of course, sometimes it goes beyond what you expected, but for me, it has created so many opportunities, and also like the ability to create a life and a path that I would never have been able to imagine, because I'm continuously opening mysterious doors.
Yeah, no, that's right. I think it's very important to be open to different opportunities, and you never know where the next one will come from. And as you said before, it's kind of finding a balance between daring to let things go, as you said, and kind of following your passion when kind of you understand what your values are, and then yeah, you're calm with that and you're accepting what's coming. And with that, to kind of close this session a little bit, since we only have 3 minutes, I would like, based on everything we were talking about, what would be your kind of final advice for, dealing with change, embracing change, accepting change, and making change your ally and an opportunity?
Well, I maybe will connect with the first topic we talked about, which was connection. No, so change is that things are different from one moment to the other. No, but this also is a system of changes. There's a context around us, and for me, the best advice I received, and then I grew my life around it, was connect with people. So that might have two dimensions. First, follow biology. We have 2 ears, 2 eyes, but only one mouth. It's because we need to listen and look more around us than we speak. No, so and this is the first basic advice is like talk to people, talk to your peers there to introduce yourself to new people that you are learning to know. Ask them, what do you do for a living? What do you like? What is behind? What brought you here? Because then you will get inspiration about how the others are facing with maybe challenges that for you are big, but for others have achieved. Or you can learn, adapt, find new paths to just face a new challenge, or even just get around it, and avoid it. So the active connection, active networking with others is a powerful tool to face challenges. And that's why we created WITH, indeed. No, it began as Women in Tech Spain. We realized that we needed to be connected among each other and help us thrive. To have that dynamics, to learn, connect, have people around you that are trustful people, even if they are not part of your family. The acquaintance layer is a powerful set of people that bring new skills, new ideas, new contexts that are not regularly in your closest circle of influence. So opening, no, to go and learn more with people who are a little bit farther from you, extending your network will help you gather tools, ideas, advice, knowledge, and just that not being alone is even a powerful tool. No, that's why in WITH we say that togetherness makes action. We work to create togetherness, to learn from each other, to make sure that we help each other, and to surround with people that you like. That's critical. Not anyone. Just make sure that are people who nurture you, you like, that you grow into what you want to get more of. No.
Yeah, no, it's a very, very powerful advice. And as you said, yeah, kind of, I feel that it's interesting of the idea of kind of connecting with people who are a little bit further from your usual network. And as you said, obviously people who you don't need to connect with someone who you hate, but yeah, kind of bringing more different points of view into your everyday surroundings. Because yeah, I feel that sometimes we, especially for politics, etc., you kind of surround yourself with people who think exactly the same as you think. So, and that's actually promotes sometimes this radical kind of thinking, etc. Whereas if you start and try kind of surrounding yourself with people who think a little bit differently, is where, innovation happens, more kind of productive thinking, etc. And as you said, some ideas or skills that you're not even aware of, because you don't know what you don't know unless you kind of go on that path.
And
So
sometimes you are not even aware of your own skills. People tell you, hey, you are really good at this. And you say, but that's super easy.
yeah,
Oh, well, yeah, because it's your skill. Others help you to see yourself in different ways.
exactly, exactly. Well, we're past our time limit. Thank you so much, Marisol, for this session. I think it's been really enriching. We've had quite a few people join, both men and women, which is great. We always have more women in these sessions, obviously, but I'm super happy that men are also joining increasingly. So thank you so much for making the time for us. And yeah, and I'm truly looking forward to continue connecting with you.
Thank you very much, everyone. I invite you to reach out to me in LinkedIn. I always answer. Sometimes I take a little bit, but I always answer. Reach out to me, and I'm always happy to talk and connect.
Thank you so much and have a really great day.
Thank you very much.
Bye
See
bye.
you.